Okay, search here, and I'll share you the link of this. Okay, don't worry about it. Okay, am I audible to you, all of you? Let me know in the chat box. Am I audible? Am I audible, guys? Okay. Yes, yes. So this file we need to include it. Actually, it's a library which is used in Arduino, and we have to include it when we are going to run the code for the line following robot. Okay. So I'll share the link from where you have to download it, and a zip file will get downloaded. And how you are going to include that, I'll show you. My screen is visible to all of you, right? So let me show you. Okay. So this type of zip file you are going to let me share this. Okay. Okay. Here it is. Okay. Am I audible to you? Hello. Am I audible? Please let me know in the chat box. Okay, okay. Okay, great, great, great. Okay, so I am sharing the okay, I'll just type it down that you have to download the library from here. Okay, step. Let me show you how you will click on browse, and then you will go where you have saved your Arduino. So here your Arduino is there. Okay. So my Arduino is in the documents. So I'll select it and select folder, and then I'll click on OK. As I have already extracted it, so I'll not do it again. Okay. You're able to get me what I'm trying to say. Okay. Are you able to get me? Okay. 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 So now we'll understand the code. Okay. Now you know how to download the code, right? You just have to type it on the Google like this. I'm typing Adafruit. Okay, write it down, guys. You have to download this library. Without this library, your code won't work. Okay. So here it is. Okay. So I'll click on it. Write it down on your notebook. That step one will be you have to search on the Google for Adafruit Motor Shield Library. Okay. This will be your first step. Okay. So now can you see this? The first link, you have to click on the first link. Click on it. Please write it down, guys, how you are going to download it. Okay. Now, what will you do? You have to click on this code. Can you see this green button? You, okay. After that, when you'll click on it, you'll see this download zip. Okay. And you have to click on it. A dialog box will open and it will, okay, as I have already downloaded it, but I'll click on OK button, that my zip file will get downloaded here. Can you see this? Here my zip file is downloaded. Now what I have to do? My first step was I have to go to the Google and I have to search for the Adafruit Motor Sheet library. This is the first method by which you can add your library of motor sheet. And now let's talk about the second method. Suppose if I don't want to extract the file or I don't want to download the zip file, then what will I do? I'll just click on the include library. I'll click on the sketch and I'll go to the include library. Okay. My first step will be click on sketch button. Click on sketch button here. Okay. Write it down. Click on sketch button. First step is click on sketch button. Okay. Now second step is I'll click on include library. Okay. My second step is I'll click on include library. After that, I'll go on the manage library. I have to go on the tool of manage library. Okay. Now I'm waiting. Do some processing. Let me go. Okay. Here's the dialog box. Another dialog box you can see on the screen. It's the library manager. Okay. So this is my search bar. Can you see this? This is going to be my search bar. Okay. So what I'll do, I'll type here same name that I have texted you guys. You have to type it here. That is Adafruit Motor Shield. Okay. So when I have typed it, Adafruit Motor Shield, you can see these options are there, and it is showing on the top of the screen. The first one, Adafruit Motor Shield Library, right? This one, Adafruit Motor Shield Library, and it is showing me the status installed. As I have already installed it, so it is showing me the installed status. Okay, and but in your case, it won't show the installed status, so you have to click on the install button. This is the install button. Okay, and when you will click on it, your library will get installed, and then it will show the status of installed. Okay, then you have just to click on the close button, and your library will get installed. After that, let me explain you the code. This is the full code that we have written for our line follower. Basically, how line follower works, line follower basically taking the reading, taking the input, we can say, from the AR sensor, and it is giving output in the form of the motors, the running motors, right? So as we have connected two motors here, that is AF DC motor, motor 2 and AF DC motor, motor 4. We have given the number here 2 and 4 because I'm using on the motor shield port number 2 and port number 4 for the motors. Okay, I'm using only two motors, but I'm using the port number, different port number I'm using. For motor 1, I'm using port number 2, and for motor 4, I'm using port number 4. Okay, and they are connected to the 3 and 2 pin. Both the motors are connected to them. These are the digital pins. On your Uno board, Arduino board, you are having the digital pins, right? So these are the digital pins, they are connected. Now I am initializing and I am defining two variables here, integer type variables that are value 1 and another one is value 2. Okay. Why I have declared these variables? Because I am going to use these variables. Variables are containers, right? Our variables are containers. So we use them whenever we need in the further program. Okay. So I have already defined that, hey, I am defining here that I'm going to use these two containers which will contain the integer type value. Okay. After that, in the void setup, as I am using my sensors, okay, I'm using my sensor. Two IR sensor we are using in the line following, right? You know about it. That we are using two IR sensors, right? So for that, we are using two analog pins for each sensor. Sensor number one is connected to the A5. Okay, it is connected to A5. Pin number A5, analog pin number 5. So it is taking as an input. Why? Because IR sensor is taking a input. It will detect whether something there in the path or not. Okay, it will detect the line basically, and it will show the output regarding it. And my second IR sensor is connected to the analog pin, that is pin number 4, A4. Okay, it is also taking as an input because we are using our both IR sensor as a input, right? So now after that I have given a command that is serial dot begin. Guys, please don't write it down. First understand it, then I'll give you the time to write it. Okay? So don't worry about it. First listen to me very carefully. Okay? So now what is it? I have given a command that serial dot begin 9600. As I have already taught you about this, that serial dot begin enables the serial monitor. It will say that here serial monitor, I'm going to use you. So on, please on. Okay, please remain in the on condition because I'm going to use you. Okay, so this is that command only. After that, I have given that motor 2 dot set speed 80 and motor 4 dot set speed 80. What this? Why I have given these commands? Anybody can, if anybody can answer me, why I have used these commands? Okay, let me tell you. We have given these commands for. Can you see this? The name implies set speed. A very excellent command we have used here for setting the speed of a motor. We know that speed of motor varies from 0 to 255, right? The highest speed of the motor is 255 and the lowest speed of the motor is 0. So I am giving speed a very average speed. Why? Because if we don't give an average speed, then what will happen? Our line following robot will not work precisely. Why? Because it needs some time. When it will move slowly on the line, then what will happen? It will easy for it to fetch the data, right? To fetch the data from the IR sensor, and then it will move the motors likewise. Okay. So for that, I have given a very average speed, which will not the fast or which will not even be slow. Okay, so I have given 80 speed here. Okay, I want that my both motors should remain on the same speed. So I have given to the motor 2 and motor 4 and both the motors set on the 80. 80 is the speed for that. Okay. So I have defined it in the void setup. Now let's come to the void loop. What is it? Here you can see that in the void loop, what we do, we declare and we define the function, or whatever the functioning we want that our robot should perform, right? Whatever we are going to perform from our robot, we declare each and everything, we define each and everything in the void loop section. That whatever variable I have declared here on the upside, suppose I have given two containers here that are integer type containers that are value 1 and value 2. So why I have given those containers? Because I am going to use them in my further program. So what this is, they will be in the value 1. I am using the integer type container to store the value which is coming from my IR sensor. IR sensor, which one IR sensor? My first one IR sensor will consume these values. Okay. Now, next one is value 2. So what this is doing? This will be storing the value from the another IR sensor. Which one? IR sensor 2, right? That we have given here. That is A4, which is connected to the pin number A4. And another one is connected to the pin number A5. These are the analog pins. Okay. We are using analog pins, but we are reading the pins digitally because we have given a command here that is digital write. So basically, we are reading the data in the form of digital. Okay. What does it mean in the form of digital? It means that my sensor will give value either 0 or 1. Okay. My sensor will give value either 0 or 1. When it will give the value? It will give the value when my sensor will be on, and if I am putting something in its path, if it detects any obstacle, then it will give the value 0 or 1. Either it will give 0 or it will give 1. Okay. So our sensor gives value in the when something comes around it, then it will detect and it will give the value 1, right? You know about it. You have studied about how IR sensor works, right? So when something comes around the IR sensor, it will detect and it will give the value in the digital form, that is 1. Yes? Okay. So I am going to use these values. First of all, I will take those values and I will store in the integer type container that I have defined earlier in my program. Okay. So here are these variables that are value 1 and value 2. Both the variables I am using for the IR sensor input. Okay. Whatever my IR sensor value will be there, it will fetch it and it will store in the value 1 and value 2 containers. Okay. Now, now next command is serial dot print ln value 1. You know this command, right? It's a very excellent command which we use to print something on the serial monitor. Where our serial monitor is? Our serial monitor is in the right top corner, right? This is our serial monitor. When you click on it, our serial monitor will get open, and there I want to print these values, whatever values my IR sensor will get, whether 1 or 0. I want that they should print on the serial monitor. So for that, I have given a command here that is serial.print. Serial.print is used for the to print on the serial monitor. But I have given ln also. What this ln means? ln means that I want to print this value in the new line, right? I want to print this value in new line. So here I am giving the values, both the values in the new line. I want that both the values should print in the different lines. Okay. So I have given the ln in the both commands. Okay. So here up to here, any doubt, guys? You can ask me if you have any doubt. Are you getting me? Okay, no doubt. Okay, so after that, now here comes that if now everything is ready, my line following robot is ready, my IR sensor is ready, my motors are ready, motor driver is ready, and my controller is ready to perform. Now, how my controller is going to perform? For that, I have to give some conditions, right? I have to give some conditions that if my IR sensor will give value 0, 0, then my Motor should run like this, that my robot will move in the forward direction. Are you able to understand me? What will happen? Suppose I have IR sensor. You have seen the IR sensor where it is placed on your robot, right? You have seen that. On the both side it will be there present. In the left side and as well as in the right side. Okay. So what will happen when my robot is placed on the black line? Okay. So my IR sensor will get values from the white surface because the line black line will be in the middle. It will be in the middle, right? So the left side of my sensor will sense to the white surface and the light will get reflected and the value will be 0. Means the light of the IR sensor will not be on. It will be on only when it will detect any black line, right? So both the sensor will show me the value of 0. Okay, both sensor will give the 0 value. So I have given a condition here that if both of my sensors, I am storing the value of sensors in value 1 and value 2, right? So I have given that if value 1 equals to 0 and this is the AND operator we are using. Okay, and I am giving here value 2 equals to 0. And if we add something, AND is just like a multiplier. If I'll multiply 0 into 0, then it will give me the result as 0, right? And if I'll multiply 1 into 1, then it will give me result as 1. You know the multiply, right? How to multiply two numbers. You know it. Okay. So for multiplying two numbers, we are using this operator here. Okay. This is called the AND operator. And this is the 2. Why we are using 2 equals to? This must be your question. That we can also use only single equals to and my value should get assigned. But in the programming, it doesn't happen. When we want to equalize something, okay, then we have to use two operator of equal signs. Okay, this is called the assignment operator or the comparing operator. Okay, so you don't need to go on these operators. Okay, you just understand what is happening in the code. So value 1 is giving me the 0. Okay, and value 2 is also giving me the 0. What does it mean? That IR sensor, my first one IR sensor is giving value 0 and my second one IR sensor is also giving me the value 0. Then what will happen? I want that my motor 2 and motor 4, both the motors should run in the forward direction. Means they should run straight. In the forward direction they should run. Okay, it basically defines this. Now, okay, you understood this? Any doubt till now? Any doubt, guys? Let me know in the chat box if you have any doubt. If you have any doubt, then let me know in the chat box. Okay, no doubt. Okay, great. Zero value in our both sensors. Our both will be moving in the forward direction. But what will happen if my robot will get data as a 1 1? Suppose if my IR sensor 1 as well as IR sensor 2 will give me the data as value 1 and 1. And what will happen? Then it means that the black line is all around. It's the stop button basically. When my IR sensor 1 and IR sensor 2 will get the 1 value on the sensor, then it means that my robot should stop now. It's the stop point for my robot. Okay. So here my both motors, I have given a command here that is a very excellent command that I am using, that is motor 2 point, motor 2 dot run, and in the braces I am using the release. What this release means? It means that now the time is there. My robot should stop now. Okay. So basically this release function is used to stop your robot. Okay. And forward function is used for to move your robot in the forward direction. Okay. Now let's move further. Okay. Now we have understood that if it will give the same value 0 0, then it should go in the forward direction, and if it will give the same value that is 1 1, then it should stop. Our robot should stop. Okay. Now what will happen if one IR sensor is giving me value 1 and another one is giving me value 0? Now what should I do? What will I do? It means, what it means that suppose when I get the one value, when there will be the black line at my way, right? If my line following robot will get the value that my black line is coming, so it will fetch the value as 1 from the IR sensor. Okay, and when the white surface will be there, 0 value will be assigned to the IR sensor. So it is getting my, suppose my first IR sensor is in the left side and my second IR sensor is in the right side direction. Then my first IR sensor, that is my left side IR sensor, is getting value 1. That means in the left direction, we have the value that in the left side black line is there, but in the right side no black line is there. That means my robot need to turn in the left direction. Okay. And for turning my robot in the left direction, I have to stop one motor and I have to move my robot with the help of only single motor. Then only it will turn in the direction. Okay. So which one motor should be on? My right side motor should be on when I want to move in the left direction. Okay. It's just like a diagonal wise, that if your left sensor get value 1, then your right motor should run and left motor should stop. So for that I have given the value here, that is motor 2 will be forward, that is my right side motor will be in the forward direction, it will move, and my motor 4 will be in the stop direction. It will be stop, right? So it will move in the another direction. Okay, so this is for turning my robot in a particular direction, that is the left direction, when I want to turn my robot. Okay, so this is how when my IR sensor is getting values, different values to each of the sensor, that is one IR sensor is getting value as 1 and another one is getting as 0. Okay, so now this is there. Now let's come to the last one condition, that if what is written in the braces, it is written that if value 1 is 0 and value 2 is 1, that is value 1 is for the my left side IR sensor. If my left side IR sensor is getting 0, okay, if my left side IR sensor is getting 0 value, what does it mean? It means that there is no black line on the left side. Okay, it means that there is no black line in the left side. So, okay, I understood. While seeing the output on the serial monitor, I understood that my IR sensor, left side IR sensor is getting value 0. So I got to know that okay, there is no black line in the left direction. In the left side, there is no black line. Then I have to see what my right side IR sensor is showing me, right? So for that, I'll define here that is value 2 equals to 1. So what is it mean? That my right side IR sensor, my right side IR sensor is getting some value. Why it is getting some value? Because there is a black line in my IR sensor is responding to it. That means my robot should turn now. In which direction my robot should turn? In the right direction it should turn. But for turning my robot in the right direction, I need to give some commands. Some set of command I have to give. What were they? They are I have given in these curly braces. What are these commands? These are that my motor core, that is my left side motor will be on and my right side motor will be off. Okay, so my left side motor will go on, and after that, what will happen? My another motor will go off, and like this, my robot will move further, further, further. Okay, so what happens actually? Suppose you have designed a path. Okay, you have designed a path and you have assigned a uh, stop sign also, which includes a total black line to the both the IR sensors. Okay, so now what is happening that suppose I am getting the values on the both IR sensors 0 0. Okay, if I am getting values on both IR sensors 0 0, then my robot will move in the forward direction. It will move and it will sense likewise only. It is not necessary that first this will happen and then only this will happen. If this won't happen, then this won't happen. It is not like this. Okay, our robot is becoming smart now. Whatever comes in its way, it will identify it, and like that only the command will run into that. Okay, so this is the programming section of our robot. Uh, First, write it down, guys. Okay, write it down. I'm giving you 10 minutes for this. Okay, write it down. Start writing on your notebook because it will remain with you. Otherwise, if you take a snapshot, then it would get deleted. Okay, and you will not be able to use it. Okay, and when you will participate in a competition, it is very necessary to have the code with you so that you can participate well and perform well. Okay, so write it down. First, write it down each and every line, and after that, we'll talk about the doubts. Okay, write down. And let me know in the chat box if you have written this one. Then I'll scroll down. Okay.